Everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Greg. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. Got a great video for you guys today. I'm going to be going over the latest from Lin Wood's Fireside Chat. And you guys got to be checking those out. Those are just unreal. And I'm getting you just some of the highlights, but it's like usually I think close to an hour long, sometimes more. I can't really remember, but there's a lot of stuff to just dig up in there. So check out Lin Wood's Fireside Chat, but I'll get you the highlights here. I want you guys to check out, there's a link in the description. It's to our Patreon page. Please check that out. I cannot implore that enough because in the coming days, that's like the only place I'll be sharing content besides Rumble if that doesn't get taken down too. And it's just very important that we all have safety nets for getting good information, because if we've learned anything, it's that there's too many things we were complacent about that now we're figuring out in a time where we're all getting silenced the way a lot of us thought we would probably a few years ago but didn't act on then. So this Patreon page is crucial for that. Dylan is getting amazing information on there. He's really just treating it like Parler more than anything. He's doing blog posts, articles, sharing links you guys need to see, and the content he's writing himself is really, really solid. So I cannot recommend it enough. I've been reading all his stuff, and he's doing a solid job. And like I said, long term, that might be the only place content is for us. I don't foresee that personally, not trying to scare everyone or use a fear tactic. But if you start looking at what's been happening to Facebook and Twitter and all the accounts there, you can definitely see why we could think that, you know? But yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to break down that chat, and let's just go ahead and dive right in. Thank you guys for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. All right, Lin Wood's Fireside Chat. I believe this was the 8th installment. All right, so the very first thing he said is he's like, don't buy into the agenda. He said there's all this political agenda going around, and basically all these different sources saying these things to try and scare you. And he just said, don't buy into it. I'm going to let you interpret that as you want to. But I think you guys get what I mean. So, yeah, don't buy into the agenda. He said things out there from mainstream outlets, from guys like him, from people like us, I guess, too, we're considered in that probably. And he said, just take all this stuff and just kind of do your own assessment of it. And I can't endorse that enough. That is what we should all be doing more than anything. And one thing I've been saying in a lot of my videos is that, like, we all need to be using discernment about what we believe and don't believe. One of the things that's really killing the Patriot movement right now is the amount of misinformation because somebody claims they've got some military contact. There's only probably I can count on one hand the amount of people that say they have a military contact that I trust. Everyone else, I'm like, well, I can't go making videos on your military contacts, you know, so take everything with a grain of salt, test it, you know, break it down, write all the information in a chart, and do an assessment on it and see what you believe. He also talks about how well he knows defamation law. And basically what he was referencing to is, you know, everybody talks about his big Parler stint on Mike Pence. And he was saying, listen, it was just hyperbole, and anyone in law understands why what I was saying is completely okay. It's again, he's a defamation lawyer. He's not an idiot. He knows how to say things, and he knows what he can get away with. If it was so dangerous, why hasn't he been charged? Now, what it did do, it did fit right into the agenda needed for big tech to basically shut down Parler. So that kind of sucked because Parler was amazing. But we'll get into that a different day. But yeah, so he says, ask critical questions. He said, don't buy too heavily into mainstream media. Make your own analysis. And he also brought this up with the information he shares. He said, in regards to my content, and I talked about this a few times, why would he knowingly self-destruct? And he brought up the same point. He said, why would I knowingly subject myself? And that's the thing. He wouldn't. He's smarter than that. And he said, why would I willingly throw away everything in my career? Everything I've ever worked for, everything I've ever stood for. Why would I do that? And that's just the greatest point. He knows defamation law. So he knows what he can say and what he can't say and what he can get away with. He went in to talk about Joe Biden. He basically said Joe Biden is a puppet, and he's like, that's all he is, and that's all he'll really ever be, is a puppet to just help encourage a specific agenda. Now, this is where things get insane. Holy cow. And this is the part I want you guys to go all listen to this for yourself, because So he said that he believes if you calculate the ballots cast only on Election Day, and just in the swing states, but he said in all states, but specifically in the swing states, God, it's so hard to figure out how to say some of this stuff. The number of potential, just that I don't have to talk like this, go check out the freaking Pete Navarro report. It's amazing. But anyways, that's the update on Lynwood. That last part I dropped was just like a bomb. Go listen to that fireside chat. I believe it's episode 8 or installment 8 or whatever he calls it. Just eye-opening. Absolutely eye-opening. Support that man and trust him. I mean, just trust. Well, I'm not going to say you really shouldn't trust anyone right now, but trust in his experience. Trust that he knows what he's doing is what I'll say. But draw your own conclusions, like he said. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you stand with us and what we share on the channel. Link in the description for the Patreon page. Please check that out. I really believe that's imperative in coming times. So thank you guys, and stay tuned for more updates.